Hey friends, this is Ifa and today we're going to set up my weekly spread together. This video is going to be very simple and less creative. I'll talk about my life and other stuff casually and I hope you'll be there and hang out with me. You can check out my March plan with me video to get more on how I made my themes and how I planned them and everything with detailed drawings. For my weekly spreads, I have printed out 2 of my March printables from Patreon viewers. I've got them all off camera and using the same supplies like my monthly setup, but the only addition is the Pigma Micron fine liner in size 02. I wanted to use more bolder fine liner like 05 or 08, but unfortunately they have all dried out and I'll buy as fast as possible. Though it's tough to find them on physical shops here and some online shops are selling the duplicates ones, so I'm just taking my time to find the original set. I've already showed you my first weekly spread in my monthly setup video, so I'm going with my second weekly spread. And I saw this layout from Tina of Tina's Diary. I inspired by her layout and the second one is also inspired by her weekly spreads. I got a comment on my monthly setup that I have gone very fast while drawing the flowers, so here's a little tutorial on how I draw these flowers in general. First, we'll draw a little circle in the center of the flower. Then we'll draw 5 lines from the circle and these lines have equal distance approximately and don't need to be very accurate as we're using these lines as guides. Then we'll draw 5 petals by leaving a bit space from each side using the guidelines, and the petals have kinda oval shaped in the end. With a thin and stiff brush pen, I'm outlining the flower. I drew little circles around the center circle to make it more defined. For the petals, I'm drawing over the pencil lines and leaving a small space between each stroke. This makes the doodles more artsy. For coloring, I'm using 2 water-based brush pens. I'm filling up all the petals with the lighter one first, then I drew some light strokes from the center circle to the outer parts. And then I blend them with the lighter color. I kept the darker shades in the center half and that's for the depth or creasing in the center. I hope that makes sense. And you can color one petal at a time to blend the darker shade into it. But I wanted to do it faster, so I just go for the 5 petals altogether, but I think it looks good and I like the texture of the darker colors too. I've already mentioned that I opened a Patreon page last month and for now I can only offer printables. In future, I may go for the physical layouts too, but I don't know if it may happen after some months or years. Let's hope for the best. And the reason behind this plan was to give my subscriber good quality printables of my cover pages, doodles as in stickers, and some journaling kits that make your life easier, your bullet journal more colorful without thinking about too much about the themes and all. So if you want to join this month, you'll get 2 months rewards from March and April, and as I was late for the March, so I planned my March kit without calendars so that it can be used in any month. And moreover, I added more stuff like wallpaper, calendar layout, memos, washi tape samples and other things that I could imagine that time. I'll try to include more variations in these kits from next month. And one thing that I'll add is that the only support financially I'll get directly from you. So basically, if I go deeper into this payment methods from affiliates. It can be withdrawn without PayPal, and PayPal doesn't provide their services in my country, but I'm still promoting the brands because I like the products. And also I'm positive about the news of PayPal going to be available in 2022. I don't know. Hope for the best. Last week in my community page I posted that if you have any questions you can ask me, and I got two from Teresa. The first one is how I keep a positive mindset when creating art. So here's the thing, while creating art we usually assume how that piece of art will look like, and most of the time it doesn't turn out that way, so we feel discouraged and sometimes we think about making it again. Honestly, this happens to me too. I redid my December theme only because the spirits were not so good and I hate them the most. But after that, I try to think more possible ways, like if I do this, how will it turn out? And I think a lot before creating my themes for my Bujo. And I try to imagine things that I can't predict before I create them. So I hope this makes sense. And Teresa asked me another question, which is how I make time for art. Honestly, I do have some spare times every week, like 2 days. I get free times after my master classes and other stuffs like projects and something. Or if I don't have, I give myself a little pressure to create, but the filming process and editing took most of my spare time, so I can say that this is the only way I can be creative more. And now I'm making pattern layers and it takes a lot of time, so I try not to waste time and digitally paint doodles on my phone while lying on bed. Yeah, that's it. And thank you so much, Teresa, for asking me these questions. Let's get into this setup. I didn't imagine how it's difficult to cut 160 GSM papers horizontally. Like, it took me ages, as you can see, and I've made some mistakes while writing the numbers of the days. I'll change them all before posting on my Instagram, so if you haven't followed me yet, you can head over there and follow me to get the updates. So that's for today. If you're still there, comment with the flower emoji so that I find that you're here. I hope you enjoyed this non-stop talking video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. I'll see you in my next video. So bye guys.